Hey guys, the Explorer 4 here, Horrorboy465. Welcome back to some more reviews, and today I'm going to be reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is a 2017 film. It's an 8.1 on IMDb. Directed by James Gunn, who had actually directed Slither. He also directed a few things I know to do with like Trauma, like an episode of Trauma TV, and he was the writer of Dawn of the Dead. He's also the writer of the very first Scooby-Doo live-action movie, which I'll be honest, I hate the second live-action movie, Monsters Unleashed or whatever. I hate that film, but to be honest, I grew up with the original, Scooby-Doo live-action movie. I sort of grew up with that, so I don't hate it. I don't know. It's a movie that it's got bad things in it. It's got horrible things in it. But I just still can't find myself to not like it. I think it's, okay for what it is movie. But I know that he was the writer for that. He was also the writer for Dawn of the Dead. And he also directed Slither, which is actually a really fun horror film. And he also directed, of course, the first Guardians of the Galaxy. He's also announced he's going to direct Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now that is going to be awesome. And if you guys are looking in the suggestions or looking on my channel for a review of the first Guardians of the Galaxy, unfortunately I haven't done a review on it yet. But I'm actually probably going to be able to see it this weekend, so I'll watch it and give it a review as well, because seeing this movie really makes me want to see the first movie. And he also directed a movie called Super, and he also directed a segment in movie 43, and that's about it. He hasn't really directed too much. This is one of his, he made Slither. He also directed Super. He also directed a segment in movie 43. But James Gunn did a great job directing this movie. I thought this movie was hands down the best movie of the year. I don't know if I've said that yet this year on any movies I've done reviews for so far, but without a doubt, hands down, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 for me is the best movie of the year so far. So far, though, because we got a lot of good movies coming up. I mean, we got Star Wars, The Last Jedi, we got the new Thor movie coming out, we've got the new Spider-Man movie coming out, so there's a lot of cool stuff coming out in the future. We've also got the Alien Covenant film coming out, or it's out right now. I've heard mixed things about it, but I'm interested in seeing it to give it a watch and to give it a chance. There's a lot of good movies out right now. Right now is a very exciting time. This summer is going to be a very exciting summer for movies. But yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I loved it. I thought it was great. But real quick before I get into the video, don't comment like, "Oh, well, why'd you spoil the movie?" Because this is a spoiler review. There will be spoilers in this review. If you don't want the movie to be spoiled, just go watch it and then come back to the review, and then you guys can watch the review. But it's going to be a spoiler review, so there will be spoilers in this video. Just a little heads up right there. It's also going to be somewhere in the title of the video, spoiler review. So this is a spoiler review, so don't comment and get mad and furious at me and go, "Well, why'd you spoil the movie?" It's in the title of the video. It's a spoiler review. If you want the movie spoiled, then don't watch the video. Or watch it when you're done watching the movie and then come back to this video. But Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 gets an 8.1. I can definitely agree with that. I think it gets the same rating as the first movie. Yeah, the first movie. So, really enough, this is one of those very few sequels. Now, this doesn't happen a lot with sequels. That, is on par with the original. Now, I haven't seen the original, so I can't say from my point of view yet, because I haven't seen the first movie, although I think it's going to be a fun time and a blast to watch. But judging by the ratings, this is a movie that's on par with the first movie, which generally doesn't happen with sequels. I mean, very few times do sequels either surpass the original or are on the same level as the original. Stuff like Aliens and Terminator 2 and, more and more sequels that go along. There's only been a very few sequels that really do equal the original or, surpass the original in some way. But Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I think what it does best is it combines, a great story with action and wonderful characters, likable characters. This group, the Guardians, are definitely a team. They're definitely a family. You definitely buy that. But also, you've also got that great humor to the movie. This movie had some hilarious moments in it. I thought it was great. Definitely a PG-13 movie. There is cussing and stuff like that, which made it even more cooler. And it looks great. It's shot very well. I love the music in the movie. Lots and lots of great songs in the movie. Some really classic rock songs used in this movie, which I thought was awesome. So I love the score. I love the way the movie looks. I love the way the movie's shot. It has some fantastic special effects. The action scenes are very well done. The whole movie is just, to sum it all up, an awesome freaking movie. Um, that's a quote from the Explorer of Horror, Horror Boy 465. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is freaking awesome and it's freaking amazing. I love this movie. And it really makes me want to see the original movie. I always wanted to watch it, but I was too busy at the time and I couldn't see it in theaters. And I kept a ticket from this movie. I usually keep tickets from like good movies, and I sort of like keep them and like sort of not. I don't know if it's like a collection, but I just sort of keep them. Like the King Kong and the Witch, and or King Kong Skull Island, and then the Witch, and I think Unfriended. Like I've been, I keep tickets to good movies, The Conjuring 2, so I've been doing it for a little bit. But Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I mean, this is just an amazing movie. I mean, the movie basically starts off with the Guardians pretty much doing their normal job. They're on this planet battling this monster. And you got Chris Pratt, who's Star-Lord. You also got Zoe Saldana playing Gamora. You have Dave Bautista playing Drax. You have Vin Diesel voicing Baby Groot. You got Bradley Cooper voicing Rocket Raccoon. You've also got Michael Rooker as Yondu, and Nebula as Karen Gillan as Nebula, or Nebula, yeah, Nebula. And basically, when the movie starts, Rocket, Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, Baby Groot, they're on this planet battling this giant monster. And the opening of this movie is so great. I mean, you got a song playing, and you got Baby Groot dancing around, while in the background they're fighting this monster. And I just love the way the movie opens. Such a fun opening of the movie. And I like how Batista in this movie, he really does play this Drax character very well. He's sort of like an overgrown kid. Like he's he's I don't know how to describe it. He's like a kid in a grown man's body. I mean, he acts like a little kid, but he can still fight and kick butt, and he's still badass. But he also has that sort of kid part of him, where he's trying to be friendly, likes to joke around. Really enjoyed Dave Bautista's performance as Drax, and I like how he goes. The creature's skin is too thick on the outside. I need to get on the inside and cut it from there. And I like how Chris Pratt, he's just sort of like, it's the same equal of thickness from the inside. And then Gamora's like, I know! I tried to tell him. I love that scene. And I love how Dave Bautista, he like jumps into the monster's mouth, and of course, he thinks he can stab it from the inside. He just stabs it and it's not doing anything. And Rocket and Star-Lord and everybody else, they aim for this cut in the monster's neck. And of course, Gamora takes a sword and guts it, and Batista falls out of it. Drax falls out of it. And from pretty much there on, you find out that Rocket, they're on this planet where like these people are all in gold, and they're all sort of shaped to look perfect, and they're all designed at birth and stuff like that. And Rocket ends up taking a few of these, like, I forgot what they called them, like some batteries. What did he take? Took like a certain battery. I forgot what it's called, but he took these items from these people, stole them, and pretty much gets them in trouble with this planet of these perfect beings, like they're all in gold and stuff. And I guess it continues on where like Yondu's on this planet. You actually have a really fun sort of Easter egg in the movie. You see Howard the Duck for like a split second saying some dialogue. And real quick, the original Howard the Duck movie, um, I don't hate it as much as I used to. I did a full fledged rant on that movie back when I first did the review for that movie. I did a really bad rant. Like I was tearing the movie to shreds. But honestly, the more I watch Howard Duck, it's a terrible movie, but it does have some good things to it. It would still be a rant if I would review it today because it's just bad. Like it's undeniably bad. But honestly, there is some good stuff to it. I'll be honest. There is some good stuff to that movie. But overall, it is a bad movie. But I like how they had that cool cameo in it. Or well, not really cameo, but like a Easter egg thing. You've also got, speaking of cameos, you've got some really great cameos. You've got Kurt Russell, Sylvester Stallone. Um, you've also got this guy who's like Yondu's assistant. He's in this movie. And I swear, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I swear, I'm going to actually look this up real quick because if I say this, I might look stupid. But I could have sworn that I seen the guy who played Glenn the Walking Dead in the background of a scene. Now I'm gonna check up on this because I know people are like, "Well, come on, dude, it couldn't have been Glenn." I mean, maybe it wasn't Steven Yeun. I'm gonna check and see if he was in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 because you know I could have sworn I seen him in the background. No, he was not in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I knew it. Well, I seen somebody in the background. Definitely, I thought it was Steven Yeun. But besides that, you got some like really great cameos in the movie, and pretty much what the story is about is Chris Pratt finds his dad. You found that Chris Pratt's dad is Kurt Russell, who does a phenomenal job in this movie. He's a fun character, but also I already put spoiler review in the title. Spoiler: he also plays a good bad guy in the movie. There's a great twist at the end of the movie, and that reveals how this character really is playing things out. And I just really like, I really enjoy his performance. He's a fun character. You can definitely tell that, he has that arrogance, so he definitely is Star-Lord's dad. And just a hilarious character. Hilarious. And, Chris Pratt finds out that he's half human and half God. He, his father went to Earth, and he was born through um, Kurt Russell and his mom. His mom was human. Kurt Russell was a god. So Chris Pratt has the powers of a god. And I really enjoyed that. It's a really cool aspect of the movie. And basically everybody but like Baby Groot, Rocket, I think a few others, the rest of them pretty much go to this planet where Kurt Russell's at. And Baby Groot and Rocket, they stay back. I think it's just those two. And Michael Rooker ends up hunting him down in this forest. You have that great scene where there's like these traps getting triggered and stuff like that. And Rocket is pushing this button that makes this gravity force like push up, and they fall back to the ground. That pushing them back up, and then they fall back to the ground. Or he just jumping from person to person, beating them up, punching them in the face and stuff like that. And from there on, Rocket and Baby Groot get kidnapped. Michael Rooker gets betrayed, gets his mohawk shot off, which would also lead to the later on in the movie where he gets a different looking mohawk, which I guess was how it was in the original comic books. Because in the first movie he had that normal looking mohawk, and I guess in the comic books he had a bigger mohawk than that. So in this movie they gave him this giant mohawk, which is a pretty cool new look for the character. And yeah, Michael Rooker as Yondu, he gets betrayed by his team, but besides one person. And basically anybody who hasn't joined this other group of, I don't know, not really bounty hunters, but they're sort of like these, I don't know if to say mercenaries, that'd be the right word to describe them. Sylvester Stallone is actually the leader, sort of these mercenaries. And Yondu, he's a character who took care of Star-Lord as a kid. And you find out that Kurt Russell gave Star-Lord to Michael Rooker to bring to Earth, but Michael Rooker raised Star-Lord. He didn't bring him back to Earth, but there's a reason for that, which leads to the twist of the movie. But yeah, Yondu, he's sort of getting looked down upon by the other mercenaries, and he's leading his own group. And pretty much this other group turns on him. They kill anybody else who's on Yondu's side, except for one guy, but he's still on Yondu's side. He just didn't want to get killed. And basically, Yondu gets out. He's like, well, he's first of all, him, Rocket, and Baby Groot, they get kidnapped and they get imprisoned on the ship by a guy named Taserface, and that was a great joke. For those of you that's in the movie, you guys know what I mean. The Taserface joke, that was really cool. And pretty much, Yondu tells Baby Groot to go get this, to go get the Mohawk, and Baby Groot actually does after a few tries. And basically, they get out of there, they escape the ship, and at the end of the movie, you find out that Kurt Russell is really a bad guy. I mean, you got him going to all these planets and having spawn, having kids. And each and every one of them he wanted so that he could spread through the entire universe and basically have the power of the entire universe. And Chris Pratt, at first, he's sort of getting talked into this, Kurt Russell was persuading him, but Gamora and everybody else shows up to interrupt what Kurt Russell was trying to do. And basically, the end of the movie is Chris Pratt, or Star-Lord, and the rest of the Guardians versus a god who is a giant being, and they have to go and blow up the core of the planet because the planet is also equal to the god. And they've also got an entire planet worth of these ships coming in from the planet they stole from. So they got two bad guys to fight. And the action scene is great. I mean, Baby Groot. This is one of those action scenes where, like, everybody's doing something. Everybody's doing something. You got Drax, who's fighting people. You got this new girl. I think her name was Mantis. I believe so. Yeah, Mantis. She, like Palm Clementif. Mantis, she pretty much has this power where if she touches you, she can change your emotions and stuff like that. And she also uses her powers and helps put Kurt Russell's god form to sleep so they can fight these ships off. Rocket's flying around, gives the bomb to Baby Groot. Rocket's flying around and shooting the ships and stuff like that. So is Star-Lord and Gamora. She's also fighting as well. So everybody's doing something. Yondu's flying around shooting people. Just everybody's doing something. It's not like, oh yeah, well Yondu doesn't get anything to do and Drax is just sort of sitting around. No. Everybody's fighting, everybody's doing their own thing. I really enjoyed that because there's some movies where they'll have a team and there'll be like one person over here not really doing anything and this person doing a lot of the action. I've just seen it before in previous movies that I've seen. Like movies I've seen before where that's happened. But basically at the end of the movie, they destroy all the ships, so that planet pretty much failed. And they destroy Kurt Russell's, they blow up the core of the planet, which is pretty much Kurt Russell's heart. Kurt Russell dies. Chris Pratt used a little bit of his god powers to fight him off before he dies. And you have that great scene where, like, Kurt Russell forms this giant rock thing, and Chris Pratt, this is so funny, turns into a giant Pac-Man, and, like, they both collide, blow up. It was so awesome. And basically that's the end of the movie. It ends with really good music, and well, actually, it doesn't end as happy as I made it sound. It is actually a pretty sad ending because, spoiler alert, this is a major spoiler, Yondu dies. Yondu at the end of the movie gets flown into outer space. Well, he only has like one space thing left, and you have to save Chris Pratt's character, so he, jetpacks out in outer space after the planet blows up, and Yondu pretty much saves Star-Lord by sacrificing himself. And the movie starts to get a little bit sad. There's a funeral, and Chris Pratt says that he had a pretty cool dad, and from there on, they all are just sort of sad, but they end up trying to feel better. And the end of the movie is a really good song playing, and they're all trying to get past this, trying to, recovered from this, and that's pretty much the end of the movie. So yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I definitely recommend it. It's a really well done movie. It's a fun time. It's a blast. And so far, it's my favorite movie of the year. This is definitely going to get picked up on Blu-ray by me. I am definitely getting this on Blu-ray. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching the review on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Also, I do apologize for not making any videos for a while. I've actually been very busy. There's actually a big vacation coming up, so we've sort of been doing things leading up to that. But I've just been very busy, uh, preparing for the vacation and going to other places and just chilling and stuff like that. But also, I have been making a Gmod horror film. It's called Stalked by Death. It should be up either tomorrow or tonight sometime, maybe. Um, but yeah, Stalked by Death. It's a Gmod horror film that I shot for about 3 or 4 days and just got done editing it today. And yeah, so I might upload it tonight or I might upload it tomorrow. I'm not really sure which. But yeah, I've also been really busy filming that as well. But yeah, just been really busy, and I do apologize for not uploading not too many videos, but just been very busy. But anyways, thanks for watching my review on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and I'll see you guys on the next review. Bye, guys.